If you need to take the bus, your wait time to catch a bus will be a little longer. Centro has made some schedule changing to keep their finances in check.
Change can be a good thing, but is that the case here at Centro Bus? Many people in and around Utica area take the bus to get to work. Now their wait time to get to work will be a little bit longer. Centro General Manager Ron Bachiro says in order to keep the buses on the road, it's a matter in financing.
Back in 2015, we were looking at almost a $4 million deficit. Fortunately, the state legislator, the governor, came to a budget agreement which eliminated our deficit. But however, it's not a guarantee that that money is going to be there next year.
So wait they will. Not long for most. The new schedule only adds about 10 minutes to most bus routes, but some can wait as long as 20 minutes. We asked around to see what the new wait time means to the rider.
I think it's kind of crazy that they changed the schedule. I guess they're just trying to save money.
It's convenient for me for the moment, you know. I still get on time to go to work and everything else, you know, so I don't have no complaints. Not yet.
It's all right so far. I take it to get to work and get home. It's kind of a longer wait to get home from work, but otherwise it's been okay.
So while you may be spending a little more of your time, at least you're not spending more cash. At least not yet. Reporting in Utica, I'm Kirk Tupai.
In an effort to keep financial costs down, Centro has made some changes to the bus schedules. What that means for the average rider is a longer wait time. 5 to 25 minutes is what Centro General Manager Ron Bachiro is calling some savings.
It's going to have some savings. We're looking at the savings possibly for our next year's even fiscal year budget.
We're living in a time where every penny counts, and having to wait an extra 5 to 20 minutes to get around the Utica area may not be such a big deal now, but it is.
Especially in the wintertime when you're out there freezing waiting for a bus in the snow, you know.
But how does the wait time feel for someone like Brian Joyner? He lives in New York City where people are always in a hurry.
Usually you have a train or a bus, next 10 minutes.
But here in Utica,
That's not gonna happen. No, but it's been okay. It's been, you know, so far.
since you have 10 or 20 minutes to spare waiting for the next bus, you might as well
Which is 1 o'clock.
make a friend like Ann Campbell here.
Yeah.
And while Ann may be laughing now, the reality of the wait sets in.
It's not gonna bother me. But what happened? I had asked one of the bus drivers the other day. I said, when the wintertime comes, what we gonna do now? We gonna have to wait for you that long?
But Ron Bachiro says Centro is keeping the customer's needs in mind if changes to the schedule need to be made.
So we're going to be making adjustments as we see situations occurring that may not be in a positive for the customer to hopefully correct those.
Reporting in Utica, I'm Kirk Tupai.
These harsh winters are really bad on the bees. You know, the cold isn't really what kills them. It's the long extended periods of them going without cleansing flights.
Jimmy Morweck is a member of the Mid-York Beekeepers Association and has been raising bees for years. He says, as harsh as this past winter was, the bees did pretty well. But the bees have an even bigger killer. Varroa mites are still the most destructive honeybee pest.
They take and suck on the bee's blood, and it weakens their systems, which allows other diseases to come in.
But the bees aren't in this alone. In fact, there's a fever in central New York that's become contagious. It's known as bee fever, an interest in bees that can quickly become an obsession.
I started out doing large animals, down to small animals, down to pocket pets, and now I take care of petite pets, the little bees.
Those little bees inspired Steve Burton of Bardwell Farms and Jimmy Morweck to offer a class for beginning beekeepers.
You can go and buy a queen, $25. You're spending $25 on a little bug. Some people would think that's nuts, but you get so enthralled in them.
Apparently, Central New York is full of nuts because interest in the class they offered through Cornell Cooperative Extension was sold out. In fact, they had to turn people away.
We have, you know, a maximum seating range, and I think we had to turn like maybe 10 or so away just because we couldn't physically fit any more people in.
Find out at 6 what it is about these little critters that have people swarming to the hives. Reporting for News Channel 2, I'm Kirk Tupai.
This is like the bee magnet in Remsen, so that's why it's still standing and hasn't been knocked down. And if you watch long enough, there'll be some bees.
Steve Burton of Bardwell Farms has been a beekeeper for some time now, and he says the interest in raising bees is growing.
They beat us all in organization and communication. It's just, they're fascinating.
So I kind of had to figure this out on my own, and it's a lot easier when you have somebody teaching you the ins and outs.
So Jimmy Morowek and Steve Burton set out to teach future beekeepers the ins and outs. They offered a course in beginning beekeeping at Cornell Cooperative Extension, but there was such an interest, they had to turn people away.
We try to limit it to 30, but there's just such a big interest in it that we have a hard time saying no to people.
You may be wondering what all the buzz is about. Why are people so interested in bees?
I just think it's everybody wants to get back to nature. Everybody likes to do stuff outside instead of in this world of everybody just being on their phones and computers, to get outside in reality and just enjoy nature.
The reality of a startup cost may be keeping some away.
The initial startup cost for raising bees is a bit of money. With your personal protective equipment, tools, the beehive, and buying the bees, you're probably looking at about $500–600 to start up.
And then there's the reality of getting stung.
While wearing protective gear may be recommended, you'll find that the bees are actually quite friendly.
But raising bees can come with its share of problems.
We get a lighter that works.
And it does require effort.
It is hot work. I mean, you're working most of these bees, and especially collecting the honey. You know, you're talking August, so you are just sweating like a pig.
But if hard work, a little sweat, and you have a couple $100 for the startup costs, you may find yourself stung with bee fever.
After getting into this, I can't imagine not doing this anymore.
Reporting in Remsen, I'm Kirk Tupai for News Channel 2.